As usual, Black Love, Pride, and Power, get ready to cancel those subscriptions. Now, the Beehive is about to come and assassinate my ass before white supremacists can because of what I'm about to say next. I've got two main points to say, both of which are not popular ideas, just period. But Beyonce is not pro-black, and she is also mixed. Does the mixed thing have to do with being pro-black? I say in a sense, because capitalizing off of something I live every day, even though you feel another type of way about your identity, it's fucked up. But aside from that, I'm just gonna dive on in to the evidence. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. First off, we're gonna start off with Beyonce's identity. Now to get started, this is Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles. She's Creole, which is basically French, Native American, and a sprinkle of black in there. This is Beyonce as a baby, Beyonce as a child. Clearly, she looks like a little mixed girl because she is. We all know Beyonce's dad is black as night, but her mom is not. I really think her skin was photoshopped in this one. But again, Beyonce looks like a lot of the mixed girls I grew up with. And that's okay. The woman is half black and half interracial. She looks like she can pass whatever she feels like it. The woman clearly wants to be French. It looks like a mixed family, and this is all mixed women in this. And there's different types of mixed out there. Darker, lighter. Mixed has nothing to do with your skin tone, but more so it's your genealogy. This is her admitting that she is mixed. And she's in good company. You got Alicia Keys. You got, who else? You got Journey Smollett. You got Mariah Carey. You got Zendaya. You got Tina Shea. They're all, all mixed people, all beautiful people. But we have to stop calling them something that they're not and assuming just because of our comfort that they are what we want them to be. Now, Beyonce's mom has heavy European descent in her, heavy, and both Solange and Beyonce are mixed children, though they look like two different types of mixed children. Not every mixed children has one specific look, especially if you're mixed with other minorities, you're going to have a different look, especially when it comes to skin tone. But it doesn't change the fact that it's about what runs through here. And that's just the way it is. For a while, up until very recently, Beyonce was on this whole French tip, speaking in French all the time. Even in the commercial that she did with L'Oreal, behind the scenes, she talked about how she wishes she was born in France. Especially right before she comes out with Formation and all this pro-black stuff. On top of that, the woman's not getting rid of her blonde hair. I think that's her way of trying to tell us, all of who I am. I'm not getting rid of this part. I'm not ready to let it go. And she shouldn't. The girl's mixed. She should be able to hold on to it all. With that being said, I can't identify with Beyonce. And of course, I've seen Lemonade and I've seen Formation, all kinds of, even all that kind of stuff. I like a lot of her songs on Lemonade. But even if you look throughout the theme, a lot of the stuff that she was like personally in had a lot of French, Bayou, Louisiana kind of influence, because guess what? Louisiana was owned by the French for a while before the Louisiana Purchase. There was a heavy mixing culture with the French and the natives, and then a little bit of blackness in there too. That's how you get Creole. Someone say they're Creole, they're telling you that they're mixed. They're telling you what type of mix they are. Okay? Beyonce is not black, she is mixed. And if anybody's seen my video on why mixed is not black and what is necessary to understand, you'll understand especially if you watched it with your subscriptions canceled and your Eurocentric mindsets turned off. You understand that there's nothing wrong with being mixed, and there's nothing wrong with identifying as mixed. But the problem comes when black people especially misassociate mixed people as someone that they can identify with when they can't, in all actuality. I do think that Beyonce isn't just now coming out as black, period. Beyonce was black enough to have is black enough to have the pizzazz, the personality, the presence, all that other kind of stuff. But she's European enough, to appeal to, European people. And I think that is one of the many things that makes people have the capability of being able to play both sides and be able to utilize both sides. And especially once they understand that they are a combination of both, they just broaden their range of maneuverability automatically. Let's talk Formation. Now, the song is fun. The song is dope. I enjoy the song a lot. The video had some highs and some lows for me, simply because, again, a lot of it, it's clearly took place in like Louisiana and stuff, and it was very, even sceneries, clothes, and all that kind of stuff. It was very Creole, which is a combination of French, and it's a combination of French, Native American, and Black. But Black is the little bit of blood in the people. It's not in the style or anything like that. If you look all throughout the formation video, you see a lot of, French styled clothing and things of that nature, as a French styled furniture and scenery and stuff. And then in the time that the stuff takes place, Black people wasn't owning that shit. The bourgeoisie, the mulattoes, and the white people were the ones who could afford to have those kind of clothing styles and furniture and things of that nature. So even when she's trying to represent a Black time, she's not. She's got these two beautiful chocolate girls playing backup to her daughter, which I understand that's her daughter, she wants in the middle, but she's got these two chocolate girls who are actually Black, looking like props to a light-skinned girl, which I do consider Blue Ivy to be Black. A lot of the imagery in the video kind of threw me a bit, because it's like, great concept, all that, but then you have the little boy dancing to ask the police to stop shooting them. And I'm like, since when in the hell has that ever? But we just gonna start breakdancing at a riot and the police ain't gonna shoot us? I feel like there was a lot of things to go for and a lot of things missed. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact of that internal struggle with identity. I want to be this, I want to appeal to this, I want to say these things, I want to have this voice, but I don't want to compromise this other side of me either. If she would have had the little boy busting back at the police, people really wouldn't have been able to handle that. Although from as a Black person, and that's what the necessity is of the situation, that we need to actually defend ourselves and stop holding our hands up. As a Black person, that's the necessary message that we need to hear. But as a mixed person, that's the message that half of you needs to hear, but the other half of you is like, oh wait, but I don't want to upset, what about how they feel? Woo-doo, blue, I do not think that the formation song was pro-Black. I do not think that the lyrics are even pro-Black. I think formation is more of her coming to terms with the other side of herself that for these past, I'll say 7 or 8 years, she's neglected. And that is her Afro side. I think formation was more internal for her. She didn't open it with Malcolm X quote. She didn't open it with the Marcus Garvey, or even hell, a Huey P. Newton, also a mixed man, did great things and stuff, quote, or none of that. She opened it with something talking about being fierce and what happened to my people after the hurricanes and stuff, which is very understandable. New Orleans went through some shit. And New Orleans, Mama Louisiana, that is her people, that is her place, this, and the third. So I completely understand it, but I don't think it had anything to do with pro-Blackness. It raised some intriguing topics. It was an enjoyable piece to watch. Fashion was slayed. Choreography was cute. I like the Black Panther reference. However, Beyonce is not a Black Panther. Those women in that video, they are not Black Panthers. They are simply paying homage to the actual people, the actual Black women, boots on the ground, putting in work via performance. That does not make them revolutionary because they put on an outfit. I can put on all Black and an afro all day and still not be a Black Panther. I can dance my ass off and best believe I can. But that's not gonna make me a Panther. What is that doing? Nothing. Those women are not actual Black Panthers. She did not get cameos from Black Panthers, especially Black Panther women who are still alive today. She did not go and get revolutionary women. She did not show images of none of that. She got some beautiful chocolate sisters to stand up behind her high yellow self in her blonde hair and support her and her shit. Basically, we've been used for validation. We Black people have been used. You've seen it time and time again. You've seen it in Beyonce's new video formation. You've seen it in Lemonade with Serena Williams and all the other Black props in there. You've seen it with Taylor Swift and her Black props, Miley Cyrus and her Black props, all that other kind of stuff. All too many times you've seen Black women, especially dark-skinned Black women, being used as supporting images, supporting props for these non-Black people. Because someone makes a song and throws on an outfit It does not mean that they're pro-black. It doesn't. It takes way much more work than that. Way much more. And I do find it difficult to believe that Beyonce will ever be pro-black because of how close she is with her non-black side, of how close she feels and has portrayed herself to feel toward her French identity, toward her Native American. Even in one of the pictures up there, it showed she did a commercial for a True Match, and they did a little DNA test on her or whatever. And it came up African American, French right after that, and Native American. She did not just put black on there. She did not just put African on there. At first, she put African American. Woman identifies as mixed and has for a long time up until very recently. I want you all to go watch the behind the scenes of her L'Oreal commercial, and she will even say how she wishes she was born in France. She even speaks French in the video. We cannot put that out of our mind when we're talking about real shit, and we cannot pretend that she is not sensitive to stuff that belongs to her, that I can't be sensitive to French issues because I'm not French. When France had that terrorist attack, I said fuck France. Why? Because I'm Congolese, and the French had terrorized and butchered and massacred Congolese people. Beyonce is French. She got French in her. So when shit happened to France, I'm sure she felt some type of way. France is one of her favorite places. Shit. She's always in France. Beyonce is always in France. She's in French everything. French Vogue, French Glamour, French this. It's okay for her to be sensitive to her people, but her being sensitive to the French people is counterproductive to her being sensitive to African people, because African people suffered at the hands of French people, and there was nothing said about that. Her identity is torn. The Beehive's coming for me, I'm sure. Even people who are not a part of the Beehive but just want to claim any and everybody just to make us feel better. I'm like, first off, just because I don't think Beyonce speaks for me doesn't mean I can't appreciate her music. I don't like her acting. I'm sorry. You know, and now she's trying to come out with this Sarah Bartman movie. She's trying to place this mixed woman, this thin mixed woman, is trying to play Sarah Bartman. And if anybody who knows anything about Sarah Bartman, she was a heavier set, huge bootied African woman who was paraded around as a like a circus exhibit throughout France. And now we've got Beyonce trying to play Sarah Bartman. That just goes to the whitewashing of history. It does. Because Sarah Bartman looked nothing like Beyonce, completely different complexions, completely different everything, and she wants to be taken seriously as this role. That's like Nina Simone being played by Zoe Saldana. That shit is wrong. They are contributing to the whitewashing history. They are putting on blackface to play black women when there are black women out there who are fully capable of retelling their own, or the stories of our sisters. So the fact that Beyonce even was even considering being up for Cleopatra. Cleopatra was not light-skinned. Cleopatra was not mixed. She was an African woman. Both of her parents were Nubian. They were black-ass people. The only mixed people in Cleopatra's situation was her son, because she had him with a white man. The only whiteness in Cleopatra's situation was the men she slept with, and even still, she played them for power. That wasn't even love, you know? So we think we're doing better because we go from a white woman playing there to someone like Beyonce being up for it, and it's just like, it's not good enough. You know, her playing Foxy Brown or Foxy Cleopatra. Foxy Cleopatra. And there's a whole lot of women. She was not convincing at all. She was not convincing at all in Austin Powers. She couldn't even say the line straight. You know, this is not a black woman. And it's okay. And us as a people needing that security, and also her team knowing who she appeals to and markets to most, have played off of her black side her entire career, you know. But it was the validation of African people, especially African women, that got Beyonce the platform that she was on to be able to appeal to European. On to Lemonade not being this pro-black statement. I think that there was a lot of messages in Lemonade that I couldn't quite comprehend because it was so heavily overshadowed with her relationship issues. I think there was some dope imagery. I love a lot of the songs, especially I'm Sorry, I Ain't Sorry. I love that song. I wish it wasn't on the video album so I could just download it to my phone, but I'm not trying to get Tidal. I'm trying to pay for that. But anywho, the point of the matter is such. She's got her, and again, she remains blonde throughout. If everybody wants her to be also pro-black and she's speaking for black women and she's speaking on colorism issues, this and the third, this girl won't even wear her natural hair. Everything around you is this beautiful, natural beauty, all that kind of stuff, except for you, Beyonce. And you want me to think you're speaking for me and you don't even have the courage to do the thing that you're trying to promote for me and my sisters to do? I want to see you with your natural hair color and your natural hair texture. I want to see what Beyonce looks like. When Beyonce comes out with a video of her being 100% natural, no perm, no weave, no wigs, no none of that, and her natural hair color, then I'll be able to say, okay, you know what, maybe she is really trying to say something. But the woman is clearly at this point in time, it's not about practicing what she preaches. You know, we've got Serena Williams, this beautiful dark-skinned woman in there dancing around Beyonce. Don't get me wrong, Serena was getting it. She is beautiful, all that other kind of good stuff. But the imagery, if Serena was doing all that without some mixed chicks sitting there posing and being entertained, then I wouldn't have had an issue. It's the fact that Beyonce, either get your ass up, all of a sudden you can't dance, Beyonce, or have Serena sit down too. Don't use her as this prop going around and you just sitting there. It's just not a good source of imagery. She has scenes in there where it's very Southern Bayou, very Creole influence. In fact, a lot of the video had a lot of Creole influences. You saw a lot of Native American influence. You saw a lot of French influence and a lot of the video. And again, I thought all of it, I thought it was a very beautiful piece. I thought it was dope. I thought it was mastery. I thought it was talented and all that, but it's not pro-black, period. It takes more than putting some black women in your videos to make you pro-black. It takes more than admitting to being mixed to be pro-black. It takes more than wearing a Black Panther outfit and you don't even have the decency to put the afro on to say, or to be pro-black. And that's just the way it is. Beyonce is still an amazing entertainer, incredibly talented, can put on a performance of a lifetime, etc. I would, if I had the money, I'd see the woman in concert because I know it's going to be fabulous. But all of that does not make you pro-black, period. Beyonce's not pro-black. She wore an ankh in the video, and there are lots of people out there wearing ankhs. Now, first off, I've seen more Europeans with ankhs and eyes of everyone raw and stuff and all that kind of stuff than African people, period. Second off, she's wearing it, I think, honestly, because it's trendy. Because that's what people are wearing now. I think she probably has someone on her staff like, here, Beyonce, put this necklace on this video. I really think it's gonna boost your ratings and stuff, or boost your appeal to this specific type of black people, which is, we've lost them in our market. So let's get them back by throwing an accessory on a celebrity. Has she ever spoken about the ankh and what it means, etc.? The actual definition, not the European definition. Has she ever, anything? Have I ever seen Beyonce in a red, black, and green? Anything? And those are just symbols. But I have not heard any pro-black anything come out of her mouth. I've heard some sympathetic things every once in a while. I'm sure she feels bad about Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin and stuff, and maybe she's even said a thing or two. If she has, send me the link. I'd love to check it out. However, I have not, in my history of Beyonce, and not only did I grow up on Beyonce from Destiny's Child to now, but that's just, Beyonce is a staple in the black woman's music library, period. Period. I'm not even gonna lie. I have what? I got B-Day. I've got B-Day for sure, but what's the, I've got 4. I've got stuff from every album, but especially like her earlier stuff, Deja Vu, all that. But it's B-Day. B-Day was just B-Day, and the one before B-Day. Them was the ones. Them was the super ones. 4 is in there too, you know, but the point of the matter is, me saying that Beyonce is not black, me saying that Beyonce is not pro-black, has nothing to do with her as a woman, has nothing to do with her as an artist at all. I am simply stating facts here. She'll tell you that she is mixed. Just watch interviews, look at all that. Watch the L'Oreal commercial. Watch the behind the scenes of the L'Oreal commercial on YouTube. It is not hard to find. She'll tell you. Her, Alicia Keys, Tina Shay, Tina Shay, Zendaya, hell, Mariah Carey. The one thing all of them, all of those women listed, I just realized have in common is a non-black mother. Um, Beyonce's mom is heavily European. I consider her interracial. Uh, Mariah Carey's mom is white. Alicia Keys' mom is white. Tinashe's mom is white. Um, Zendaya's mom is white as well. Y'all go look up Zendaya's parents because that is a beautiful girl. But her parents are, I'm just trying to figure out how that happened. I know they say ugly people make pretty kids and stuff, but sometimes they just pretty as a kid and they just get ugly when they older. But Zendaya is just Berta. Her parents are like, you're not the most attractive people. But that's just how I feel about the situation. You can look it up for yourself. And at the end of the day, I would really appreciate it if people, and it's mostly the woke people, and it's mostly the the black excellence people and the playdate conscious people and the new pro-black people that are the ones pushing so hard to consider even Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole as well as Beyonce as these, prominent black figures who are so pro-black and, this and the third. I'm like, no, they're entertainers. I do think that the music is a reflection of the people because people listen to what they want to listen to, and artists have to appeal to that. Artists looking to make music, and then people like it because the artist made it. The artist makes music that the people like, and more people, especially black people, want to hear more and more better music for black people. And I think that's dope. I think that's dope that black people want to hear more Kendrick Lamar and even J. Cole, who is also mixed, embracing herself, Beyonce. I'm glad that more African people want to hear that versus what we've been listening to. I'm glad that more black people are into Lemonade than they are into the last album she had came out where you could tell that's not Beyonce. Some of the songs were cool and stuff, but that's not Beyonce. That's Beyonce. The fact that more black people like the stuff that she just now came out with and want to hear more of that than the stuff she was trying with is great. The fact that I've got more young black men wanting to hear Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole than Young Thug and whoever else, that's great. That is great because the music is bit by bit starting to reflect the minds of the people. Like Nina Simone said, however, it's not there yet. And making a song don't put you there. The difference between Tupac and Beyonce is Tupac was putting in work. Now, Tupac's mom, I believe, was the true revolutionary. She was the actual revolutionary because all she did was put in work. Tupac was an entertainer. So I think absolutely he was pro-black because not only did he speak about, actual pro-black shit, not only did he speak about making changes in our hood communities, but Tupac was actually out there doing it too. I have friends from Atlanta who went to the performing arts school that he opened up. People that have heard his lectures and his speeches, So I know that Tupac was actually putting in work. Would I say he was revolutionary? No. I say he was pro-black, absolutely, because his music reflected that as well as his actions. Beyonce's music is not pro-black. It's good music. It's personal to her. It's pro-Beyonce story. And her actions, I don't know too much about the philanthropy and stuff she does. I'm sure she's done stuff everywhere. I've seen pictures of her and Jay-Z in Africa. I've seen her in African clothing every once in a while, but that's it. I've said my piece. Beyonce is a mixed woman who is not pro-black, and that takes away nothing from why am I apologizing and backtracking? I don't have to make a disclaimer. It is what it is. Beehive. She's not black and she's not pro-black. It's okay. That's something you got to come to terms with. Be real with yourself. Be real with her, and let her continue to be real with herself, which is what has been happening these past couple of projects she's put out. Anyway, as usual, Black Love, Pride, and Power. And feel free to leave a comment. Just don't come at me with no fuck shit, please. I can't deal with trolling, but if you have like valid pieces to say or intelligent things to contribute to the conversation, please leave a comment below. Let me know. how you feeling, what you're thinking. Actually, let me know what you're thinking, not how you're feeling, because feelings don't often hold any real weight. Anywho, as usual, my beautiful black people, I love you guys. Hopefully, too many of you guys don't truly hate me after this. Hopefully, you guys have canceled your subscriptions before listening to this piece. And I'm going to call it